Welcome to issue 6 of Motovision. We join this month's issue with round 1 of the spectacular French Supercross series, where the action comes thick and fast. We then move to the Belgian Grand Prix and the Open class, where Parker's championship hopes take a real blow. Next are the 250s and Germany, where Bavortz closes down Everts once again. Then it's the final round of the 125s, where the championship goes to the final race, with only 1 point separating Pouzard and Chiodi. Finally, we have rounds 6 to 11 of the American Supercross Series, where Pichon wins the 125 East Coast Championship. That's all in this issue of Motovision, the video magazine.
Welcome then to France for round 1 of the 4-round series here for the French 1995 Supercross. Round 1, the only one to be staged outdoors. A big crowd turned out to enjoy the action and enjoy the dancing girls and fireworks. All day we had the qualifying heats, the semi-finals, and that brought the riders together onto the start gate for the first final of the evening. And it was the 125 final. Number 6 there, the Kawasaki rider, Sebastian Tortelli. Gone so well in the World Grand Prix in 1995. Number 19 on the 125 Honda, that's Rudolf Bau. Alongside him, Tortelli. 14 beside him, that's Serge Gudetti, as the gate prepares to drop then for the first final. The 125 boys, here they go. Supercross action, and it's number 19, Bau, that goes into the lead with Tortelli behind him. Then number 17, that's Segai. Mainly French riders in this final. 1 or 2 Europeans have crept in, but Tortelli going for a big one in the whoops. Front end of the bike dips down too soon, chucks him over the bars, and it leaves Bau, number 19, to lead this first 125 final. Number 12 coming through behind him, that's David Villman. 13 also there in the reckoning, Roncada, Stefan Roncada, another Grand Prix rider, trying their talents here at Supercross. Number 12 then, David Villman, lines up those set of 3 whoops, goes straight through, goes for the big Oxbow tabletop. 14 behind him still, Guidetti. 19 leads then, it's Bau on the Honda. We're looking back to see the progress of Tortelli. Nowhere in the shot so far, and here he is, beginning to pick his way back through the riders. Can he get back near the front? Can he get on terms with the number 19 Honda of that young man, Bau? The answer at the moment is no. David Villman still holds second position as they fly high into the spotlights. It's spectacular stuff here at round 1 in France. The French Supercross, 1 of 4 rounds, as we've said, the first outdoor one and the only outdoor one of the series. 19, still Bau that leads then. Picks his way very gingerly through that set of starter bumps. Can be a rider's undoing, as we saw with Tortelli. Got the front end of the bike too low, pitched him over the bars. Looking down the field, and there is the young French 16-year-old man, still a boy very much, has really surprised everybody at World Grand Prix level this year, has won 3 125 Grand Prix legs. There's the checkered flag then for number 19, Rudolf Bau takes the first 125 final. Through the fireworks, through the smokes, and there's Tortelli.
Sur la plus haute marche. Ne l'oubliez pas, il a dominé de la première à la dernière seconde. Il a creusé l'écart et il avait le point rageur des vainqueurs sur la passerelle d'Europe il y a quelques secondes. La victoire historique. Le relais est tout bon!
With the 125 final run, Bau being the winner, we turn our attentions to the 250s. Number 4 here, that's Michael Maschio. Number 2, Frederic Vial. both World 125 riders. Number 1 back after injury. That's Yves Demarié. As the 15-second board is readied for the riders, the 5-second board spins. Xavier Fabry there, number 22, drops the clutch, and here they go. 250 final gets underway. This is Friday night, and it is Vial that goes into the lead. No stranger to Supercross riding, Vial. Chased at the moment by number 7. That's Thierry Bethys. Number 3, that's the youngster Bollet goes through. There's Demarié, number 1. Poor start for the former French Supercross champion, as we say, back after breaking his leg at Grand Prix level, finding life just possibly a little bit hot in the kitchen here at this first round of the French Supercross Series. 2 it is Vial then that leads and begins to pull a gap over second place man, which is number 7, and that's Bethys, as the rest charge through. 4 behind him. Machio in 4th place as they attack that series of whoops. There's Bollet, but it's still Vial. The 250 Kawasaki certainly at home here on the humps and jumps and bumps. 10, that's Daniel Obelisco. 22 there, Xavier Fabry goes through with Bollet behind him. High jumping, high flying stuff, and the French crowd here, as always, loving their Supercross. Leader going through, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, all chasing after him. Number 20 there in the shot, that's Yann Godard, with number 4 behind him once again, Mikhail Machio. We've got a battle on between those two, and Machio looks to go for the pass. Has he made it stick? In the lead, still Vial, untroubled from those behind him. He triples through that set of small whoops. The battle is on behind. Godard still there, still has Machio behind him, so the pass did not stick. 22 going through. Fabry over the big tabletop. Vial launches that Kawasaki well out in the lead, pacing himself on this first final on the Friday night. Still 2nd, Bethys. Behind Bethys, Obelisco. Then Godard, then Machio. That's the top 5 at the moment in this first 250 final. Bollet goes through, unable to catch those 5 riders in front, but it's still Frederic Vial that leads. Hoists it through. No change in 2nd place, but 3rd looks to a change. Godard's gone up to 3rd. We've lost Obelisco. They are hard charging in the closing part of this first final. Oh, beautiful stuff. Vial triples it through. Look at this. From out of the night sky they come. It's a beautiful warm evening, and the French crowd are lapping this up. Machio goes through. It's a win then for Frederic Vial. Through the fireworks comes 2nd place man Yann Godard, and Thierry Bethys on the 250 Honda brings up the top 3.
Encore le triomphe pour toute l'équipe Dunlop.
Well, action on the circuit, not just with the motorcycles here, a demonstration of pure control of a little mini Bobcat. This driver has been entertaining the crowds at Supercross for many years here in France. It really is unbelievable what he can do with that little machine. Well then, it's the super final. Up onto the line, number 3, Frederic Bollet. Riding the 250, and here the 16-year-old, number 6, Sebastian Tortelli on the 125. The crowd absolutely lapping this up as the riders came down onto the line then for this super final. 250s and 125s all mixed together. The fireworks went down, the lights came up as the riders came down onto the line then for the start of this super final. Number 13, Ron Carter on a 125. Sebastian Tortelli on a 125. Number 2 there, Frederic Vial, the winner of the 250 final. The girls got dancing, the music got louder, and the atmosphere, well, it just got heavier and heavier. Up went the board. This is a match between the 250s and the 125s. Heads go down, the gate's going to drop. And away they go then. Super final number 1 gets underway. Who's it going to be? into that first set of whoops. Everybody's seen, oh, somebody's gone down. That's 14 Serge Gudetti, a 125 rider. He's out of the super final. But who has taken the lead? It looks like number 20, Jan Godard. Then it's Vial, Obelisco going through, Mascio, Fabre, Bal, Bethis. Where's Tortelli? He's the first of the 125 boys. There's Bolle going through. Well, Tortelli has gone through. But it is Jan Godard that leads then from Frederic Vial, the winner of that 250 final. And the heat really is getting hot in the kitchen. And look at Tortelli taking on the 250s. No fear. Obelisco over the big jump. Behind him, that's Mascio. Then 22, Fabre goes through. There is Tortelli. He's now got number 7, Thierry Bethis behind him, 13 going through, and that's Roncada. Oh, very nearly a big one for Jan Godard. He got the bike completely sideways on, but look at the battle for second at the moment between Obelisco and number 4, Mascio. They are locking handlebars corner to corner. Oh, and all over the place once again goes Bethis, nearly off the bike. One small mistake here at Supercross and you are out of the running. You can't get back through. You don't have the time. 4. Mascio going through. Then it's still Vial. Can Vial make it another win? But not so far because Godard has the lead from Obelisco. Behind Obelisco, Mascio. Those are the top 3. Then it's Vial. Those are the top 4. Where is the first 125 runner? 22 in the picture there. That's Fabre. We're looking back for number 6. The battle is on now between the two of those. Obelisco and Mascio locking handlebars. There's Bolle. Bolle's got number 7 behind him, Bethis. There is Tortelli trying to lay siege to some of these 250s. Obviously, the power of this little 125 not quite up to the job, but Vial closing on those first 2. Vial 4th. The 2 in front sharing 2nd and 3rd, but Vial unable to get past him so far, but he's looking dangerous. Frederic Vial, number 2. The 2 Hondas locking it up corner to corner. There's the race leader going through. Here's the battle for 2nd, and into the 2nd place goes Mascio. Obelisco gets relegated to 3rd, and Vial going through the inside over the jump. But Godard has it at the moment, and he's not going to throw this away. Jan Godard looking back for 2nd, and it's 4 then Mascio. And Vial can't find a way past Obelisco. There is Tortelli, the first of the 125s. Can't match the power of the 250s, but the battle is on, certainly. Oh, down goes Obelisco. Charges into a rider, a slower rider in the corner. That's the end of his position. Bolle goes through, number 3. There's Sebastian Tortelli behind him. Front fork protector damaged on Obelisco's bike. Daniel Obelisco taking his frustration out on Luigi Sigai, number 17, who brought him down, but a win then for Godard. Back with the Supercross. This is the Saturday night as the French commentator interviews the riders. Frederic Bolle, number 3 there, number 7 also, that's Thierry Bethis. There's Daniel Obelisco, number 10, with number 4, Mascio right beside him. And number 3, Bolle. We have lost Yves Desmarais, pulled out of the super final from the day before with a slight injury. Still recovering after that broken leg. So no Desmarais, but they're in trouble. Oh, very big trouble there for number 22. That's Savio Fabre. Almost threw the bike away, but it is Bolle, number 3 then. Gobet and Lambert, and oh, down goes Godard. Frederic Vial took his front wheel out very nicely, and there's Vial up to 2nd. Gobet, Lambert battling for 3rd and 4th as they come through the whoops. And the favourites are not in good positions. Bethis and Mascio down in about 6th and 7th, but it's Bolle that has the lead. From now, Frederic Vial. From then, 23, Gobet. then 77 Lambert, then number 4 going through Machio. So he's making up ground at the moment. This is the 250 final from Saturday, and Vial, the winner of Friday's 250 final, looking hopefully to make it a double header. But Belay has other ideas. There's Vial behind him. You can see the distance between them. I don't think Vial will close up on that unless Belay makes a mistake, as the rest of the pack chase through those set of whoops. Here's Belay. Vial in the background. He is closing. There is a slight difference between those two. We might have one on here. Obelisco third. Behind Obelisco, then it's Machio. A battle beginning to rage royale with Bethy's behind that too. But look at this, Vial is closing. Obelisco, you can see the top 5 in the background. Go Bay still follows this group. High siding around the corners, trying to get the drive out. 7, Thierry Bethy's. Over the big jumps, there's Belay, and there is Frederic Vial, and he can see Belay. He's got a sniff of Belay's exhaust. It won't be long before he gets on the back of his bike. The battle is on behind him. Obelisco being chased at the moment by number 7, Bethy's. Looking down the field just a little, and there is Jan Godard. Well, he came a bit of a cropper in the start of the race, but he's beginning to pick up places. But Vial bounces his way through those set of whoops. Where is Belay in? Oh, look at this for a battle on for third. Into third then goes number 4, Machio. There is no holes barred racing in Supercross. There's Belay, there's Vial. He can see him. Can he catch him and get past him? New third place man, then Machio. Down to 4th, Obelisco. Into 5th goes Bethy's. There's Belay. There's Vial, being balked just a little bit by that back marker. Can't jump his way through those whoops as cleanly as he'd have liked to have done. Back end of the bike steps out as he goes over the finished tabletop, but certainly 3rd, 4th and 5th has not been settled yet. It's still number 3, Frederic Belay then, that leads the 250 round, the final here on the second night of the first round of the French Supercross. Vial number 2 chases. We're looking back for 3rd. It is still number 4, Machio. Back for 5th behind Machio is now number 7, and that's Bethy's. Where's Obelisco? The answer's there. So Bethy's has passed Obelisco, but Belay at the moment comfortable at the front. He looks to be trialling it round. Poses off a little bit for the crowd, but he cannot afford to hang around because there is Vial right in his wheel tracks. It's going to be a handlebar to the line between those two. Belay number 3. Where's Vial? Comes to the high side. Belay then takes the win from Frederic Vial in 2nd spot. Belay enjoying the enthusiasm from the French crowd.
Gatsby, Frédéric Belay!
Second night, this is the 125 final. Number 6, Sebastian Tortelli prepares his starting blocks, hoping for better luck this time out than he had on the Friday night. Up goes the board, the gate drops, here they come. It'll be all elbows into that first corner. They all appear to be safely over that first set of jumps. And it is 252 that leads. That's Luca Prato leading at the moment, and we're looking back for second. There's Tortelli with Roncada beside him, number 13. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. He saved it. I can't believe that. Luca Prato saved it. Almost off the bike. He's going this time. Holy smoke. Tortelli looks down to say, well, I've got a kamikaze pilot here. He could be Japanese. Well, he looks a little second hand, and the race was stopped as a result of that crash by number 252, Luca Prato. He's recovered, sitting in the stands to watch the rerun then of the 125 final. Second night. Here they go. And it looks like Tortelli this time, number 6, has got a clean start. No kamikaze pilots beside him this time. It's Roncada in second. 14 going through, that's Guidetti. Someone on the floor. It's number 12. That's Wielman. But it is Tortelli that leads from Roncada, 1 and 2. Then Guidetti, number 14. Then it's Dupasquet, 2-5-1 in 4th place. As the rest come piling through. But it is this young 16-year-old that leads from Roncada. Tortelli, Roncada, Guidetti, then Dupasquet, and we've got coming together there. That's 98, that's Benjamin Chopard just crashing out dramatically. And you can't relax one moment in Supercross. If you don't fall off yourself, you'll certainly get helped by someone else. Ooh. Guidetti there almost on the limit over that big double. So Roncada still chasing Tortelli. This is the 1-2-5, second night 1-2-5 final. Dupasquet in 4th. He's behind number 14, Guidetti. And Tortelli settling down after that mistake he made on the first night in the 1-2-5 final when he crashed out, making no mistakes in the second night 1-2-5 final. Guidetti, 14, still with Dupasquet behind him. Oh, Dupasquet loses it, front end digs in on the face of the jump, pitches him over the bars. A perfect handlebar stand. Dupasquet looks to be out of this final as Tortelli heads round to start another lap. Roncada, a big bail-off, he's out. But the winner then, 1-2-5, second night, number 6, Sébastien Tortelli.
Car en motocross, il est déjà l'un des 3 meilleurs du monde. Et en supercross, nul doute que dès cet hiver, il va en faire trembler plus d'un. Mesdames et messieurs, victoire de Sébastien Tortelli!
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
Et ils sont là!
Dancing girls, fireworks, the atmosphere really electric here. Winners of the 250 and the 125, Sébastien Tortelli and Frédéric Bollé, the top 2 of the finals coming into the super final. Now I wonder if Tortelli on that 125 can do anything about the domination of the 250s. There he is, 16 years of age. The gate's gonna drop any second, and it does. Vial won the super final on Friday, and it's Vial in the lead again. Obelisco, Bethes. There is Tortelli, number 6, trying to pick his way past the bigger bikes, but it's Frédéric Vial in the lead from Daniel Obelisco, from Jan Godard. Then it's Bollé with Bethes in front of him. As the rest come through, number 4 there, that's Mascio. Not a good start for Michael Mascio, but Vial has really got this one in hand. Then it's Obelisco. They are battling for the lower positions. 3rd, 4th and 5th. There is Tortelli. Can he get that 125 past any of those 250s? Vial, Obelisco, then Jan Godard, then Bethes. Behind Bethes, it's Frédéric Bollé. Then Sébastien Tortelli, the first of the 125s. Supercross at its greatest. The French really know how to put this together. It's an outdoor event, the only one of the 4 of the series. The weather has been superb, the crowd have been superb, and the racing has been unbelievable. Crashes galore, passes galore. What entertainment. It's still Vial that leads. There goes Tortelli through the whoops. Here comes Vial. Still got Daniel Obelisco behind him. Then it's Thierry Bethes. Then Jan Godard, who's now under pressure from young Bollé. And Bollé goes on the inside. He's got him through the whoops. Can Godard come back? There's Vial, totally unaware of the action that's going on behind him. A gap beginning to appear, but look at this for a procession. They're all cracking for this. And Obelisco's dropped back. Number 10, Daniel Obelisco, back from 2nd place, down into about 4th now. He's got Jan Godard behind him, and we've lost Bollé as well. But there's the leader, Vial. New 2nd place man, Thierry Bethes. Then it's Daniel Obelisco. Behind Obelisco, It was Goudard, and Vial takes the honours 2 nights in a row. Frederic Vial wins the super final. Second spot then Thierry Bethis, and in third Frederic Bollet and Tortelli 6.
Characters, the complete sign service. Commissioned by Mitsui Yamaha to design a new team vehicle livery for the 95 season, Characters designed, manufactured and applied the new liveries within 2 weeks of the order being placed. Characters continue to ensure that the Yamaha team have the brightest image on the road and in the pits. You too can stand out in the crowd if you contact Characters on 01438 354 843.
Round 10 of the World Open Class Championship comes to the famous city, the citadel city of Namur here in Belgium. The battle is on between that man there, Jol Smets, and the gentleman we saw just previously, and there's his bike, the American Trampus Parker 99. And it looks very much like this Open Class Championship is going to go down to the wire, to the last round. It's contract time. The speculation as to who's going to ride what for 1996, but that's the last thing on the mind of this young man. Trampus Parker 99 gearing himself up ready as the 5-second board spins around. The gate drops. Here they go. He won here in Namur, gets underway, and they're all leaning on each other in that first corner. Well, that's the result of leaning on each other. And Parker and Smets are amongst that fallen group. Smets is getting away first. Parker picks his bike up. Number 4, that was Van Dorn, but it's Johan Boonen that's gone into the leader. Could be Peter Dirks there behind him as we pick them up coming through. 17, that was James Marsh, the Englishman. But the question now as we look back is where is Smets and where is Parker? Those are the two. There's Smets going through. Now where's Parker? The two main protagonists in this championship have both been, well, Van Dorn goes down again, and there's Parker coming through, getting caught up in that. Well, Trampus Parker must be thinking, I should not have got out of bed this morning. It is Johan Boonen, number 15, on the factory Husqvarna that leads. Ronnie Oostenrad, Peter Dirks, both around there as well, but Johan Boonen on that big Husky. Dirks second. Oostenrad back there in 4th. You can see it's a little dusty here as Boonen comes around again. Still Dirks there in 2nd place, the former 250 and 125 Grand Prix rider, finding his feet very much in this open class. Ronnie Oostenrad still in 4th as Boonen, to the delight of the Belgian crowd, pours the power along this famous Citadel circuit down by the cafeteria. And there's Smets. Well, they are loving, really loving this. He's on the gas, is Smets. Now, where is Parker? And the answer is there. Well, they aren't so jubilant as Parker comes through, only when Smets comes through. Well, you can expect that to be the case. So Johan Boonen then in the lead. Boonen, just 26 years of age. Former Kawasaki rider. Used to seeing him on green machinery, changed to the factory Huskies for 1995. And it certainly hasn't been for no reason other than success. And here they come then. Boonen wins on Husqvarna. Race 1 here in Namur. We look back for second place man, and that will be, I think, Ronnie Wostenrad. And here's Smets. Well, he's come right through to finish third. What a ride. Joel Smets keeping his championship chances well and truly alive. And where's Parker? Well, there he is. He's down in around 13th position, so it wasn't so lucky for the American. Well, with the kisses and the congratulations of the people here, they prepare themselves for Heat 2 of this famous Belgium Grand Prix. There, Trampers Parker, got his body armour on, the UFO shirt over the top, hoping that this time he'll get out of the gate without being poleaxed on the first corner. Smets coming down onto the line on that Hülsenberg, thinking very much the same. Can he get a clean start and maybe win this second one out? Those points are beginning to mount up for Smets as the rest of the riders settle themselves down. Well, we get a good shot of some cameramen there. There is Smets, Parker, side by side. Well, they're not talking to each other. That was James Marsh, number 17, beside him, the British rider. As the ball goes up, the gate drops. Here they come. They go down towards the Citadel. They turn right and come back again. And so far, it looks like Boonen's got another cracker. Van Dorn, number 4, was up there. Jackie Martins, number 2. Well, he was amongst that group. The former 500 world champion. As they come along, there's Smets. Looks third, I think it is for Smets. They've watered the track, as you can see, upon landing. Well, that certainly won't do anybody's goggles any good if you happen to be following somebody. What they call very nicely filled in, I would have thought. But look at the crowd. This really is the, well, one could call it the Formula One of world motocross racing here at Namur. That's number 11, Daryl King. Hasn't been a good day for him. Van Dorn, well, he's managing to stay on the bike. That's one of the other King brothers, number 24 behind him. That's Shane King. And we're going to pick up some of our back markers. I suspect we're possibly looking for Parker. And there we find him, yes indeed. Trampers Parker way down again as Boonen gets out in front. What a day for Johan Boonen. Smets is there as well. Third place for Ziggy Bauer, number 22. That's a good ride from him. We're looking back for Parker. He is a long way back. Van Dorn, number 4. Kept upright this time. Wes Parker, and the answer is there. 99 on the bike. Well, to the delight of the crowd, Smets has taken the lead. Boonen down into second. Then number 22, Bauer. Daryl King, number 11, the New Zealander. Looking back for his brother, number 24. He's around the top 10. There's Van Dorn, number 4. There, number 20, and that's Gerald Delapine. There's the other King brother. That's Shane King, number 14 behind him, Dirk Gherkins. Riding a 4-stroke, and there's Parker again. So Smets came here leading the championship and is going to extend his lead by a few more points. But I think Boonen's decided that he might like to make this a doubleheader. Looks to be hanging on to the back of that Hülsenberg. Well, Daryl King looking quite useful in 4th place at the moment. But Smets comes around, celebrates, checkered flag and 20 points. Johan Boonen took second and the overall result, and Ziggy Bauer came home in 3rd. Trampers Parker, not a good day for the American. Just a handful of points, but Smets with a 3rd and a win. He's triumphant, he leads the championship. Joel Smets.
Van den Werf will design and fit an awning to suit your needs. Top awnings used by the top race teams. Van den Werf can also supply marquees for private functions and parties. For your awning or marquee, no matter how small or large, call Van den Werf now.
Round 13 of the 250 Championship came to Riesersberg here in Germany. Monique Bevorts surveys the start area. The British rider Kurt Nickel there, hoping for a higher position finish at the end of this season than he had last year. Carrying the number 5 plate as Bob Moore, the American, back after injury, comes down onto the line on the 250 Chesterfield Yamaha. Pedro Tractor, number 71, with his sleeves rolled up. He must mean business. Stefan Everts beside Bob Moore with 13. Yoki Karlsson right beside him. Green flag goes up, gate drops. Here they go. Heat 1 then of this 13th round of the World 250 Series gets underway. Who, we ask, will get that corner first? The dust clouds roll away, and it is number 13, Karlsson then, that leads. That's Byra in second. That looks like Bevorts third and Bartolini fourth. And Bob Moore, I think, has decided the bike can race on its own. Karlsson then, from Byra the German, the young bulldoggy. We've seen him before. What a gutsy rider. That's third, fourth and fifth. Then for Everts, number 2, the current championship leader. His teammate Talon Volan out for the time being with a broken shoulder blade. But it is Karlsson from Bevorts. So Bira has gone missing. There's Bevorts. There now is Everts. Oh, there's Byra. So obviously back a little bit with Tractor behind him. So the German making a mistake. Out of camera shot, but it's Karlsson that leads. The Belgian Monique Bevorts, number 4, chases. Then Bartolini, the Italian. Then the Belgian Stefan Everts in fourth, number 2. Oh, and Everts has thrown it away. He's come around that right-hand corner. I can only imagine the front end slipped away. He gets back on the bike, but that'll drop him down a place or two. Unhurt. Karlsson leads the British 125 National Championship with Bevorts behind him. Then Bartolini. Now it's Tractor then up to 4th, Nickel to 5th. And 6th place then for the 23-year-old Belgium Stefan Everts. After crashing, but that's not so bad for him, leads the championship. Doesn't have a lot of space to spare on the man that's currently in 2nd place, Monique Bevorts, because Bevorts is making a concerted effort to try and win the championship in 1995 for BFE Suzuki, replacing Greg Albertine, who won the 250 World Championship last year as the main team rider, and he's taken the lead. Bevorts then. Sylvain Gabors trusted in Monique Bevorts' ability to take another championship for Suzuki, and he's certainly on course to possibly do it. But can Stefan Everts put pay to Bevorts' run? There is Everts. And there is Bevorts, number 4. Bartolini 2nd, then Tractor now 3rd, and it's Nickel 4th. We have lost Karlsson. Everts goes up to 5th then, courtesy of the exit of Karlsson. Number 14, that's Peter Ivan, and behind Peter, that's the German Pip Byra, 61. Well, his home Grand Prix not going so well. Frederic Bollet, the young Frenchman, with Paul Cooper there on the SoCal Honda behind him. But it is this man on the BFE Johnson Suzuki, Monique Bevorts. Andre Bartolini, Chesterfield Yamaha, Pedro Tractor, Chesterfield Suzuki, and then HRC Honda. That's Kurt Nickel and this young man, the Belgian, Stefan Everts. Silkeline, JHK, Kawasaki, and there is Karlsson's bike. 1 lap to go for Monique Bevorts, keeping alive his championship chances. 2nd still Bartolini, and the battle is most certainly on because Everts is closing on Nickel. Tractor. Oh, that's the front discard from Everts' bike. It won't really matter unless he picks up a stone on the last lap, which hopefully he won't. Over the big tabletop they come. Look at this, launching into the air. What can Everts do? Back in 5th at the moment. Needs the points. And he's after them. He can see Nicol in front. He's having a look at Nicol, the HRC Honda rider, and as Everts going through on the inside of Nicol, I think he has. There is Monique Bavorts. He takes the checkered. Bartolini finishes second, and yes, indeed. Well, Stefan Everts taking Nicol and Tractor on the closing lap. What a race. Well, as always, to the victors, the prizes. Stefan Everts and Monique Bavorts as they came down to the line then for Heat 2. Joachim Carlson, number 13 there, fully recovered from that first race crash. Bavorts has got out the gate first, it would seem. Absolute flyer for the Belgium. Around that bottom right-hander in the dust. They can't see a thing behind about the first 6 riders. And they sort themselves out. There's Everts. He's back in about 4th. But it would say that is Monique Bavorts that's got the whole shot. Bavorts most definitely leads this. Everts back in about 4th. We've got 1 or 2 stragglers coming round, but it is Bavorts on this hard German track. 2nd for Byra, then Everts is 3rd, Nicol is 4th. That's Bollet behind him. Then that looks like either Moore or Bartolini. Well, it was Bartolini because there's Moore, his teammate, Bob Moore, recovering back after injury. Obviously a little detuned, lack of race practice, but not for this man, Monique Bavorts. Byra, and look at Everts is going on the inside. Oh, Nichols hit a neutral, I think. Bollet collides with him. Oh, Peter Ivan takes out Bollet's leg, leaves Bollet stranded on the ground. He's ducking and diving, all the bikes coming through. He doesn't look very happy, and I'm not surprised. That must have hurt. So, Frederick Bollet out of this one, but the lead still held by Monique Bavorts. Byra, then Everts is 3rd, and Everts, I think, really doesn't want Bavorts to win this. And really, I'm not surprised. He won the first one. Byra, sandwiched between those two, and we know how hard he can ride. Won't be easy to get past. Nicol dropped well off the pace now after that collision. In fact, I don't think he actually collided with Everts. I think he must have hit a neutral or something on the bike as he came through the corner. The battle is on now. Look at Everts climbing all over Byra. Has he got him on the inside? Oh, yes. A lovely piece of overtaking on the inside from the Belgian rider. Chasing this man, Monique Bavorts. So now, what can Everts do? Here is Everts. Should be Byra behind him. Yes, indeed, the Belgian goes through, then the German, and it's the Italian Bartolini who managed to stay out of trouble. Then Peter Ivan, number 14. Then 41, Bob Moore is in that group. A better race from the first one for the American. Possibly returning back to 125s for next year. The reigning 125 champion who decided to come into the 250 category and try and win this championship, but he hasn't done it. Stefan Everts there is the man that's on target for that championship. Byra. Oh, look at Peter Ivan closing on Byra. Bartolini was in front of him. There is Bob Moore then. And has now got Nicol resurged a little bit after that, coming together with Everts. Carlson there behind that group. And there's Rob Herring, his teammate, the RWJ's Teamsters. But Monique Bavorts at the front. Well, you can see the distance between first and second. No way, unless Bavorts makes some mistakes, is Everts going to catch him. But it's not the end of the race yet. Well, we've got a crash here. That's Byra down. Looks as if he's knocked himself out as well. That's a big hill. Fallen coming down the hill. There's the race leader. Monique Bavorts looking back for second. There is Everts now. Bavorts caught up amongst the back markers. That could help Stefan Everts maybe get on terms with Bavorts before the checkered flag. There is Bavorts. Let's look back. And there is Everts. Well, yes, indeed, that gap has definitely reduced. And Everts knows it. Picks up a bit of trackside tape. Has it hooked up, I think, under his footrest or his foot. That gets in the back wheel. That may get into his rear disc and take off his back brake. Well, there is Bavorts. Number 4, Suzuki. The Iffy Johnson Suzuki. Well, you can see the gap is most certainly narrowing. Well, that tape is actually wrapped around Stefan's foot. To the line, then, it is Monique Bavorts, but only just. Everts caught him up and very nearly took it from him. Kurt Nickel, courageous ride after that crash, finishing 3rd.
Suzuki's Monique Bavorts won both races at the German 250 Grand Prix, closing down championship leader Stefan Everts. Bavorts also won both heat races at the Polish GP, making it 4 heat wins in a row. Suzuki, do it now.
Round 12 of the World 125cc Motocross Championship came and comes to a head here in Rheil in Germany. It's all on between 2 men. The machine here of 111, Alexandro Pouzar, up against number 2, Kiko Chiodi for the championship. There is Pouzar. And we're still wondering why he has that 111 on his back. 1, 1 and 1. And there is Chiodi. Well, look at that for sportsmanship. Patting each other on the back. One of these two will be World 125 champion by the end of today. Pouzar's team manager there, Corrado Mardi, with advice as to get, or how to get off that gate quicker than anybody else. And there is Pouzar, a little bit of practice. Well, the tension certainly beginning to mount. And Pouzar, a former 250cc world champion. He's been here before. Federici, number 15, slots in beside him. Chiodi is the man that can possibly win. Finished 2nd last year to Bob Moore. Pouzar, the flag on top of the post. Somebody's confident for sure. Well, those preparations are being made. The 15-second board goes up for the second to last time in 1995. The 125 penultimate leg is about to get underway. Here they go. Who will it be that'll get the whole shot? Into the right hand, up to the top of the circuit. And it is Pouzar. Yes, indeed, Pouzar, Jimmy Button, 59. Oh, caught up behind somebody else, Button. I can't see him. There's Chiodi. I couldn't see who the rider was that went down, but Chiodi comes through, and it's Pouzar that leads from Frederic Vial, number 7. Well, the scene is most definitely set at the moment. Tortelli there, number 25. The young 16-year-old Frenchman, Sebastien Tortelli, beginning to make up places from a bad start. But where is Chiodi in relation to Pouzar? It's all on this race. Pouzar, 1-1-1 for this race, 111. Will it be number 1 for 1996? Almost didn't race at all this year. Thought about a career in something else, but came back to racing. Probably very glad of it now. As the rest of the pack stream down the hill, there is Chiodi. Back, I would say, in around 8th or 9th at the moment. whole gaggle of riders in front of him. He's got to have to work hard for this if he wants to get on terms with Pudzar. There, stuck behind number 71. Michele Fanton. Somebody's off the track. That's number 30, and that's Camolengo. Over the big jump comes Pudzar in the lead. Vial chases him second. The battle is on between those two, the Italian and the Frenchman at the moment. Can Vial get past Pudzar and give Chiodi a chance of catching? Then it's number 12 coming through. That's Michele Mascio, then Federici, and then Chiodi. So he's making progress. Pudzar, Vial in his wheel tracks. He will be given pit signals each time he comes through. Look at the ruts beginning to develop there. Very wet part of the track, that is. These are not the best conditions for Chiodi. He's up to 4th. So he has a chance, but you can see the state of the track in places. It's very, very wet. Look at Vial closing on Pudzar. The front two beginning to get away a little bit from 3rd and 4th place man. But Vial wants to win this. There's Mascio coming through, number 12. And then it should be Chiodi behind him. There's the pit board. Pudzar being told exactly where Chiodi is. Vial hangs on, then Michele Mascio comes through. And Chiodi's dropped back. That's the Dane Jorgensen, number 40, that's in front of him. So Chiodi's made a bit of a mistake. Going to have to work his way back up again. 5th now, and the leaders are most certainly getting way, way away from him. Pudzar leads, 111 on the side of the Honda. Team manager Corrado Mardi will be ecstatic if Pudzar wins this championship. Vial chases in 2nd place, number 7 on the bike. Then it's Michele Mascio, number 12, behind him in 3rd. Track tape on the circuit. Hope that doesn't get caught up in somebody's wheel. There is Chiodi, and Jorgensen still in front of him. Look at Chiodi getting caught up with that track tape. Almost pulling his leg off the bike. Disaster could be around any corner for this little Italian. Pudzar being urged on. Here in Germany, this is the last round of the World 125 Series. Pudzar leads then. Vial 2nd, Michele Mascio 3rd, Jorgensen 4th, and Chiodi is still 5th. They are urging him on to greater things, but has the little Italian got it left in him? Needed a good start, didn't get it. Pudzar did what was required, got out of the gate first, looks over his shoulder to see where the opposition is. Vial has dropped off just a little bit, but is still in a dangerous position. But as long as Chiodi finishes behind Pudzar in this first race, they can scrap for it in the second race. There is Chiodi behind Jorgensen still. The Chesterfield 125 Yamaha working overtime at the moment. Sebastian Tortelli, number 25, beginning to make up ground from a poor start. Jimmy Button, 59, the American, also beginning to make up space as the rest of the pack come through. The lower placings now being fought for. 122, Craig Prattley. There's the leader once again, Pudzar. He's got this, I think. Only really a rider error or machine failure will deny Pudzar a win. But look at Frederic Vial. He hasn't given it up yet. And the dying stages of this first leg, Vial may still yet pop a surprise. Michele Mascio, number 12, still hangs on to 3rd. We're looking back for 4th, and it's Chiodi. So we've lost the Dane Jorgensen. Chiodi goes up a place. 4th is not good enough. Pudzar leads. This will be 20 points. Vial chases 2nd for those 17 points. They're urging him on. All the front end of that bike of Vial's getting all out of shape through those ruts. Mascio coming into the corner. There's the Chesterfield team manager, Michele Rinaldi, urging his man on. Kiko Chiodi really can do no more but to sit in 4th place and just hope that he can make it up in the second race. Puzar then leads. Coyote back in fourth. Those are the two main protagonists. Here is Puzar getting even closer to that second World Championship. Vial, oh, his seat's come off. Frederick Vial has lost his seat. Well, that's going to be a very uncomfortable ride from now on. There is Puzar. Next man around will be seatless Kawasaki. Yes, indeed. Frederick Vial, well, I should think he's not thinking about sitting down. Here comes Coyote, closing on third place man. Mikhail Mashio, can he catch him before the checkered flag? Down the hill comes race leader, Puzar, championship leader. The horns are honking, the flags are waving. Italy could be on course here for a world championship. There is Frederick Vial without that seat. That's got to be extremely uncomfortable. Just sitting on the frame. There is Coyote chasing Mikhail Mashio, and Coyote might just get him before the checkered. It's the difference between 13 and 15 points. Oh, they're having a right little ding-donger here. The board goes out. Here comes Puzar. On course to add to his championship. Vial seatless. I should think he won't be sitting down too much between races after about 4 or 5 laps without the seat. Very difficult to corner without your seat when you sit down, waiting on the tank for the corners. But there's the leader picking off the back markers. This is where problems can occur. Vial, as you can see, dropping off the pace from first place man, but the battle is on for third. Coyote goes through the inside. He's got him, and they go wild. Coyote goes up to third. That's going to be 15 points instead of 13. Mikhail Mashio really bent, I think, a little bit under the pressure. But here is Puzar, totally unaware of the action that's unfolding behind him. Must know that he's dropped Vial. Probably doesn't realise why, but he knows that he's out in the lead clearly now. Just has to keep his head, keep the bike on the track, keep the thing going. He's on course for 20 points. The battle is on now. There is Vial. Coyote right up behind him. Here he comes. Can he catch Vial for second? What a spirited ride by this little Italian. Being urged on by the thousands of fans that have poured in here today to cheer him on. Well, whichever way it goes, it'll be a world championship for Italy. There's Frederick Vial. Decided to trial it through. Here comes Coyote, I think, to take. He's let him through. Vial has led him into second, so we've got Puzar now in the lead. Coyote second, 20 and 17 points. Here's the checkered flag. Alessandro Puzar then wins race 1 of this last round of the World Championship. It should be Coyote coming home in second. There is Coyote, and he's got a problem with his finger. Apparently, Mikhail Mashio's mechanic left the board out just a little too long, and Coyote collided with it, injuring his fingers. Here comes Rinaldi. Well, he surely would be worried if that's... Well, look at his finger. That's certainly split the end of the finger of some kind. Well, anyway, we'll wait and see what happens in race 2. Bike preparations here to Puzar's machine. There, the fingers of Coyote. Bit of plaster on the end of it. They're looking very swollen and sore. So let's hope that that doesn't hinder his progress in this second and final moto. Puzar with that familiar headgear on. Looks up and down the start gate. Jimmy Button making a few alterations to his starting blocks. The fans are obviously going wild. Puzar gets a practice start at the back of the gate, ensuring that everything is working as it should do, the clutch and so forth. Federici, 15, drops in beside him. Well, this is it. The last and final round of the year of the World 125 Series. It's between Puzar and Coyote. Coyote riding now with an injured finger. Puzar on a high, 20 points from race 1. Coyote coming through to finish second. And when you add that lot together, there's actually only 1 point different. It started to rain again, so the 1 point between them going into the last race of the year. Whoever finishes in front he's going to win the World Championship. Gates dropped, the rain is dropping, but it's not certainly dampened the enthusiasm of the crowd. They're loving this. Look at this. Go, he says, go. It's a red shirt. It could be, and it is. Pouzar that leads from Vial yet again. Chiodi back, but pushing forward in about fifth. Federici on the inside of him. Well, as we said, whoever wins or whoever finishes in front of whomever is going to win the championship. It's Pouzar at the moment. And Chiodi with those fingers, well, he must be in some kind of pain. There he is, slides the Yamaha into the corner. He's got Tortelli behind him, then Federici. Mascio, and look at the rain beginning to fall. That's going to make track conditions very treacherous. Pouzar leads. Vial second. This time he's got the seat. Chiodi up to third. So the battle is on. Tortelli trying to push through. There's Federici 15. Mascio behind him, and you can see the rain sleeting down in front of our camera. Pouzar, Vial, Chiodi. Just one rider between the two main protagonists in the championship. They are screaming at him to go for it. Remember, he's got some damaged fingers. That isn't going to help his case. Pouzar looks over his shoulder to see where the second, third place men are, and the answer is it's Chiodi in second. He's on the gas. Can he catch Pouzar? Well, the two Italians absolutely going for this, 100%. Oh, and down goes Chiodi. Tortelli goes through, he's up to third. But Chiodi makes a mistake, the front wheel washes out. We said that rain would make the track a little treacherous, and it's caught Chiodi out, but not this man. Pouzar now has the gap he needed between himself and Chiodi looks to be back in around fourth now, and I think that may be it for the Italian. Obviously, he's re-hurt those fingers when he went down. Jimmy Button, 59, trying to pick up places and points before the end of the championship. But Sandro Pouzar, it is at the moment that leads race 2. Sebastian Tortelli in second. All Chiodi can hope for. That's Dave Strybus in third. There's Chiodi in fourth. Well, all Chiodi can hope for is that Tortelli gets past Pouzar. It'll help to reduce the points deficit just a little. Jimmy Button trying to claw his way back up. Well, there's Vial. Well, he's been off. He was second in the opening part of the race. Well, that was very nearly for somebody then. I think that was Tortelli, it was. Oh, just look at Tortelli and Strybus. Well, if those two get past Pouzar, that'll put him right with Chiodi. And look at Strybus on Tortelli. Dave Strybus, the Dutchman. One of our elder statesmen in the 125 series. Really showing all his track craft in these slippery conditions against the 16-year-old Frenchman. There's Chiodi. Well, whether he's aware of what's going on in front of him at the moment. And Strybus has taken the lead. Well, this is unbelievable stuff. And Tortelli goes round the outside of Pouzar. There's Chiodi. Well, he's got to finish in front of Pouzar to win the championship. 1 point was the difference when they came to the line for this last race between them. And Dave Strybus, oh, goodbye, Tortelli. Well, I think he forgot that he had brakes on the bike. Oh, off the side of the track. Well, that gives Chiodi another chance. Unbelievable this is. Tortelli obviously wanted to win this last race of the season. He's already had 3 wins, which is unbelievable racing when you consider this is his first year at World Grand Prix 125 racing. Checkered flag then for Dave Strybus, but Pouzar it is. World champion 1995. The Italian Sandro Pouzar is the 125 world champ, and he is loving this. Look at the crowd. His girlfriend there gives him a hug, and so she should. 4 months pregnant, expecting their first child, a world champion and a father.
Sandro, it's a long time since your last world championship. How do you feel?
Yeah, maybe 5 years. But the first championship the day 18. today in '85, the second world champion. For me, it's very fantastic. It's incredible. The first for 10 meter, Chiodi. Sorry, I speak a little bit in English. It's very fantastic for me today. Yeah.
And now you go to the 250 class, and hopefully
Maybe 250. I don't know the bike. Maybe Honda. Maybe 250. Sure, no 125.
Okay, congratulations and good luck for next year.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Yamaha's Alessio Chiodi finished second in the 95 World 125 Motocross Championship, narrowly missing the win despite a broken finger. Yamaha's 96 machines are available soon and already are getting great reports worldwide. Yamaha, the power to satisfy.
We should also watch for Michael Pichon, who's been riding the 250s out west, running up in the top 10. Very impressive, and he's going to bring that strength back to the 125.
Tied with Wyndham in the points race with Ferry not behind. This is the tightest points race in Supercross right now. The race for the whole shot. All the contenders in the top 5 got a good break. Rider down, I believe that's Greg Rand who fell down at mid-pack there. Pichon is right with Ferry, number 101 on the Kawasaki.
Right, they're pretty close, but they still got to get around a few riders before they catch up to Wyndham.
Just not quite enough to catch up with Brown, but he's putting the heat on him right now.
Well, he's trying everything he possibly can to get around these guys. I've never seen him make quite as many mistakes. He's on the gas. Look at this big double he jumps. He's not really going to gain that much time. He's got to go wide and hopes he'll have more momentum coming out of the corner. It looks like he does. Brown made a mistake and left the door open. Nothing he could do to retaliate there.
Pichon the inside, and whoa, Brown spreads the hay a little bit as Pichon moves into third place. So we've got Kevin Wyndham running rather conservative out front right now. Tim Ferry in second. There's Wyndham, number 43. These two are only 5.5 seconds in back of the leader. We've got a real battle going on. Pichon out jumps Ferry that time. He goes wide, but he's got good momentum.
Back to that battle for second place. Pichon and Ferry still back and forth. You see the different options these guys have. Right there, the inside move by Pichon. Pretty sneaky.
Our leader still Kevin Wyndham, but Pichon, as you see him on the outside, is closing in. He knocked off 3 seconds in 1 lap.
Well, you see he's got all these different lines. He can go anywhere and jump anything. Pichon, really versatile, makes that pass stick.
Pichon the checkers, his first win of the season, as I said, his second of his career. Tim Ferry to tighten up the points race in second place. "30-second board is up, and when that goes sideways, you'll hear those machines rev up as we get set for round 6 of Supercross action 1995. We get a look from the Honda helmet cam atop Jeremy McGrath. McGrath not the best of starts. You see Craig, Emig, Henry coming in front of Jeremy. Jeremy looking for some space, looking for the open spot to break out in front. Jeremy, true to his philosophy of an immediate charge, has moved already into third.
Look at how high they get off the triple. And, oh, almost into the back end of Henry there.
Henry to his left as you see McGrath taking off, and oh, he lands on top of Craig.
What an opportunity right now for Larry Ward, who's been getting faster and faster every week, holding down second in the points. If he can get around Henry and pick up his first win of the season, he can put a lot of points on right there. Number 1, McGrath, who's still buried in the pack.
And thanks to Honda, we're getting this perspective as he goes over the triple and looking for his move. Jeremy McGrath with the Honda helmet cam moves to the inside and then to the outside, passing 2 riders. As we take a look at the leader now, Henry, Ward in second, Emig in third, and Jeremy is right there. Emig has had a rather unimpressive 7th place finishes his last couple of races. He's made the podium only one time this year. That was in Anaheim. But he's in good position here. Jeremy McGrath trying to pick up the slack, though. McGrath going to the inside. Emig, oh, they almost touched. Ward is back to 6th now as Emig makes his move on Doug Henry. Can he take over first place on this turn? Cuts inside of Henry. Good position for Emig. And Henry had to slow down.
Oh, he lost his timing right there in that section of the road. Right there, Henry goes by McGrath on the inside. I don't know if McGrath appreciates him. Look over, he's like, what are you trying to do?
It looked like what McGrath did to Michael Craig earlier in the race.
A little taste of his own medicine there. There's another look at what happens. McGrath jumps over Henry, and then Henry jumps over. Oh! McGrath looks up at him. That was close. He could have come right down on his shoulder. That was scary. Here's another angle from McGrath. Whoa, look how close that is. A handlebar in the shoulder. That could take him out for the season. And you see McGrath look over at Henry as if to say, hey, don't get that close to me.
Emig in good position now. He's looking at his first ever 250 Supercross victory if he can hang on and beat Jeremy McGrath, who's now given him some heat. What a race this has become.
McGrath cases on the outside of that jump, charges back up the inside, and looks like Emig runs him into the hay bales. McGrath back up the inside, forces him wide, and takes over the lead.
Losing his timing, McGrath. Emig puts the throttle down. He boxes him out and takes the lead back.
Boy, this is great. No one's been able to challenge McGrath like this, and who better to do it than Emig? These guys in the past haven't really appreciated each other, and right now they're doing battle. This is great.
This is easily our most exciting race of the year. Emig. He was more concerned with McGrath, it looked like.
Well, I think he thought McGrath was going to come in there and take him out, so he paused, and that lets Kedrowski into second. Now Kedrowski into the picture, and he seems to be on the charge.
Kedrowski's got good momentum as he takes on Jeremy McGrath, makes the pass on McGrath and Emig. Oh, we've got a great battle now between Emig and Kedrowski. Emig picking up the slack. There goes LaRocco cutting inside. Could not quite take Jeremy McGrath at that time, but leaps over Jeremy. Now who comes out of the turn first? Jeremy with the edge. Oh, a great rivalry battle underway between 1 and 2. LaRocco to the inside. He will take over third position. LaRocco, who earlier in the race looked like he was going to end up in 9th or 10th, has now smoothed it out to challenge the leader, Kedrowski, gets him on the corner, negotiates those awful ruts, and goes into the whoop section, the leader. And the checkered flag from Mike LaRocco. Tim Ferry, Kevin Windham, and Mikel Pichon. Pichon, number 101, doesn't get the best of starts. It's Kevin Windham and number 78, John Sebastian Roy, out front.
Wyndham's been getting off to good starts all year long. The question is, can he hang on to it?
Pichon is on the move. He's next attacking Windham.
He looks good. He came from out of nowhere, and he appears to be the fastest guy on the racetrack right now. And Windham, who had all that early speed, has definitely slowed the pace. Hannah's not going to like that. One thing you cannot teach, and that is how to ride under pressure. You cannot simulate that during the week.
And here's Pichon, 101, cuts inside Windham for third place. And he's not that far away from second and first.
By the time Pichon gets around Jezik, if he can, Ferry should have a pretty comfortable lead. As these laps wind down, that looks like he might be able to pick up another win. And Jezik getting him some momentum through that whoop section.
Well, Ferry slides out. Jezik takes the lead, and Pichon really got momentum going wide and zipping by.
Well, I think Pichon just has a little deeper bag of tricks to reach into. Right now, he's kind of being held up by this lapped rider. He is unable to do anything there. He does a nice job of getting rid of Terry Parsons, the lapped rider, and setting his sights on Jezik. Back there a little further, you notice that Pichon was able to jump that triple, and Jezik couldn't do it. I think eventually that's going to wear on Jezik. And right there, Pichon's more aggressive. He's able to jump everything. I think he has more speed.
Mikel looking for his second win of the year. He wanted Atlanta coming from behind, and the inside move on Davey Jezik, a nice block.
Pretty impressive ride for Pichon, and holding the points lead, his first full season in the U.S. riding Supercross, and he's got to be getting sick of being compared to Jean-Michel Bale, but he's doing the same thing, and he looks good on 250s also. I think we can look for really good things out of this kid in the future.
David, it's get nervous time right now. I don't think I've seen Jeremy McGrath so concerned of going into a race.
Well, he expects to win these things, and the past 2 rounds have been a disaster. He crashed in both Atlanta and Daytona, and he's handed the momentum over to the Kawasaki guys. They've won the past 2 rounds.
There's no question the spell that Jeremy McGrath had over this entire field has been broken. He doesn't want the points race to tighten any further. This is a focus for Jeremy McGrath. And McGrath, a great start as we watch from the Honda helmet cam. McGrath for a whole shot. Baracco, a good start.
Not a bad start. Rich Taylor providing this point of view. We see Antonez right there. Boy, it's tight. Look at how close they get to the hay bales right there. Meanwhile, Jeremy's gone. Business as usual out front. This is exactly what he needed to do.
Our Suzuki Field summary: McGrath, Henry, LaRocco, Hughes, Kedrowski, Craig, Lamson, and Ward in that order. Huffman in 14. Back in Indianapolis, Jeremy McGrath, our leader, as Henry and LaRocco battling for second place. Henry, number 4. LaRocco cuts inside, but look out. Oh, he hits the hay bale. Another bad break for LaRocco. Skip Norfolk, Jeremy McGrath's mechanic, looking on, concerned as McGrath just spinning away.
Look at the airtime McGrath gets to that section. That's very similar to what we saw in Minneapolis earlier in the season. He was jumping that entire section.
Hughes is now making a run on Henry for second place. Ryan Hughes, who opened the season on a 250 machine in Orlando, taking an impressive 6th place finish, is now making a bid for the podium.
Usually Ryan, when he rides a 250, doesn't get that good of a start. He's gotten a great start here tonight, and he's taken advantage of it.
As Jeremy McGrath is trying to get back on the winning track, Hughes is looking for the best race of his 250 career, and we're watching Kedrowski take Henry and moving into 4th position.
Henry, who possibly could be injured from that heat race crash with LaRocco, appears to be feeling that. He's dropping back. He's not riding with the speed and aggression that he was early in the race, and now Kedrowski's moving to the front.
This has got to be one of the most exciting moments in Ryan Hughes' career. He's won 125 races before, but on the big machines, on the 250s, this would be his first podium performance. Jeremy McGrath, the checkers.
Ryan Hughes, it's probably a victory lap for him as well. He's probably high-fiving the crowd. You see a little gesture there. He's stoked. This has got to be one of the best rides of his career.
When it comes to filters, the awesome HRC Honda team use no other than Multi-Air. The proven multiple thickness, multi-grade foam system keeps out your engine's worst enemies. Sand, mud, dust. Multi-Air filters handle it all to keep you and your bike on the winning track. Multi-Air, filters for winners.
Big question is, who now could take on Damon Huffman in this race in the Astrodome? Damon has won every race so far, says he wants to sweep the season. The gate is down. A great start for Chad Pedersen. He's got the whole shot. Kevin Windham is right there with him, though. Kevin Windham in second place. Pedersen out in front.
Big advantage for those first 3 guys to get over that triple and put a little distance on the rest of the field.
This time we've got number 43, Windham, taking the lead from Chad Pedersen on a nice move. Mikel Pichon crashing out of the whoops there. Number 101 having to restart the bike. He'll be in about 19th position. No. This is the battle for 3rd as Huffman has his sights on 2nd. He was almost 10 seconds back when he moved into the 3rd place position, but he's picked up the time there. Big question right now is, can 43 hold on? He's been unable to extend his lead over the other riders. Kevin Windham has had some arm pump problems. He's gotten a little bit nervous as a rookie after terrific starts on the season.
If these main events were only 10 laps start, I think Kevin would have won all but about the first round. He's gotten out to great starts, opened up a big lead, but he's a rookie, and he just hasn't been able to deal with the pressure yet. It'll come.
There's a great race within a race right here. Robbie Reynard, number 22, and Mikel Pichon, number 101. Side by side. Here goes Pichon.
You see how hard it is to get over that triple, and before they caught up to that, there was a tricky little section right there. Pichon kept the bike low, got the power to the ground, and was able to make that pass, and he has already opened up a big lead on Reynard already, and I think he might have his sights set on going to the front. They're not that far ahead.
There you see Damon Huffman, just not that far behind, and we will soon have the challenge for the lead. Hoffman is taking on the rookie pro and makes the pass on the inside. Number 43, Kevin Windham, now in second place as we see the yellow bike, number 1, Damon Hoffman. The move inside. And Ryan Hughes, David, has done a nice job. And David, I think this is his biggest win of the year, really, as you take a look at his comeback performance.
Well, he didn't get that good of a start. He had to earn it, and it's against everybody. Like we mentioned at the top of the show, this is the ones that count.
Not too much mud in Houston Astrodome. We get set for round 9 of the U.S. Supercross Series, and a good takeoff by Jeremy McGrath. Number 6, Jeff Emig. He gets the whole shot. He's got the lead around turn 2. It's Emig, McGrath, then Kyle Lewis, Michael Craig. We've got Henry, and then LaRocco.
Pretty good battle up front. You know what always happens is Jeremy puts a pass on these guys right away and checks out. Right now, Emig seems to be holding a little bit of a cushion over Jeremy, and if he is unable to get away, you see right there to the left of your screen, LaRocco. He's going to get up there and challenge and make a race out of this.
Michael Craig and Doug Henry, and Craig goes over the hay bales and gets right back on the track.
That was a pretty slick move. It's not something we want to do, but he pulled it off pretty good. He's probably wondering, am I going to be disqualified for that? And while he's kind of flustered from the whole thing, Kudrowski goes around him. And Emig is doing a nice job of holding off Jeremy McGrath. Usually around this time, Jeremy has already made his pass and is checked out, but right now Emig's making a good race out of it.
Jeremy looking a little bit more relaxed after breaking the 2-loss string that he had going. Here's Kyle Lewis along with Mike LaRocco. LaRocco starting to put pressure, goes to the inside on Lewis. Kudrowski's right on LaRocco's tail as well. LaRocco moving into third. Number 1, defending champion, 2 consecutive years. Jeremy McGrath is looking for a 3rd championship, and he's putting the heat on. Side by side, Emig gets the angle on the corner and boxes him out.
Jeremy's got to be getting frustrated because he's got company from the Kawasaki camp coming up from behind, and he can't. I don't see any place on this racetrack where Jeremy's that much faster.
This race might come down to endurance, but you're right about the Cowies coming up from behind on Jeremy McGrath. 36,919 fans in the Astrodome are being treated to a tremendous competition right now, David. Emig, number 6. Jeremy McGrath, number 1. McGrath just looking at every turn, trying to get by Jeff Emig. And there he takes advantage of the opportunity.
That was brilliant by Jeremy because in the laps prior to that, he was going to the outside each time, and then he snuck up the inside and totally fooled Emig.
Henry comes up short and goes down in his battle with Michael Craig. He was in 5th position when he hit the deck.
Win number 26. This guy knows what it's like to ride around the last lap and put on a show for the fans.
Only 1 win away from that 27 mark set by Bob Hanna, the 2nd winningest rider in history. Got to be proud of Emig. Emig placing 2nd, his best finish of the year. Really wouldn't let Jeremy off the hook there for a little while. Here's the start of the 125s. James Eichel, number 700, the whole shot. Mike Brown is also there. Pichon is way back. There's Shane Slother from Titusville, Pennsylvania. A victim early.
He looks good. I'm watching his pace. He's got good lines everywhere. He's jumping all these doubles, and he's going to start chipping away at this guy right here, Mike Brown.
And one person getting into the hunt is number 16, James Dobb, who's come from 10th place and is now in 3rd behind Davey Yezik and Mike Brown.
Well, I think he can glance over his shoulder and know that Pichon's gaining on him, and if he doesn't get on the stick, and there you see him right there. Look how fast Pichon has moved to the front. Pichon right now running 4th, come from dead last, and I think this kid really possesses the ability to ride exceptionally well when the conditions are just ridiculous. And right here, the ruts are just visual, but the ground is so soft. That's what's causing the ruts. You don't even need the brakes. It just soaks up all your speed and it forces you to be precise.
Mikhail Pichon really impressing me on that rough track at Daytona as well. It takes the inside on James Dobb, and we've got a real battle going on. Look at the ruts in those whoops. There he comes, moving into 3rd.
Looks like a replay to me. Same place as the last time. Puts the move on him and makes it stick.
Brown has seen his huge lead evaporate in his defense, though. He's coming off 3 weeks not riding the bike. A little bobble there. Pichon's got the momentum, and Pichon now is our leader. A third win on the season for Mikel Pichon. This will give him a 37-point lead, with the other top contenders not participating from 4 to 6 weeks.
And the sign is sideways. That means it's at least 5 seconds before that gate can fall, and then it's between 5 and 10. It's usually around 6 or 7, and a lot of guys try to guess, but if you guess early, it's going to cost you.
Emig the whole shot. Down right behind him. That was Michael Craig going down, and Ryan Hughes right behind him. Jeff Emig has been steadily improving throughout the season. He's out in front right now. There's his mechanic, Steve Butler, looking on. Emig in first place, number 6. That's Dowd, Swink, Mike Larocco with a good start, and Kyle Lewis, number 15, behind him. Right now, it's Jeff Emig coming off a second-place finish right behind Jeremy in his last race. These whoops now looking a little more treacherous as the bikes wear them down. Brian Swink making the move on Dowd as well for second place. Brian Swink into second place. Oh, what an accomplishment for this Honda of Troy rider who had such a rough time of it in the qualifying heats. And he's right on the tail of Jeff Emig.
Swink knows he's got to get around, put some riders between he and Larocco, or he's going to have company. And right there, Larocco goes around Dowd and is back on the tail of Brian Swink. This is shaping up to be a great battle for the lead.
Gudrowski has moved in front of McGrath. They've got quite a little battle going on behind Kyle Lewis, number 15. McGrath trying to catch up. Here's the box. Oh, he knocks Gudrowski down, and then he runs over Kyle Lewis.
I think Larocco has the confidence to move around these guys, and right now he's probably keeping tabs on where McGrath is, and McGrath isn't even in the picture, so I think that might have something to do with Larocco taking his time.
Whoa, Brian Swink, nice inside move, takes the lead. Larocco is putting the heat on Jeff Emig. Good momentum, leaps by Emig. Can Jeff come back in the whoops? Now Larocco holding on. Here's Larocco taking on Brian Swink for the lead. Larocco, great positioning. Approaching Jeff Emig. McGrath had labored by 6 riders and makes contact with Emig. Sends Emig flying. That's a dangerous spot to be down on the ground as Emig trying to pick up the bike, and Henry comes back over the wheel. Mike Larocco, as he approaches the checkered flag, will cut into Jeremy's point lead considerably here tonight in the Silver Dome. As they get set now and starting to rev up the machines, and the gate goes down. Andre Penny, number 614, with an outstanding start, along with Mike Brown.
I love watching Pichon ride through that whoop section there. Just perfect timing. Everywhere this kid sets the bike exactly where he needs it to be, and that's why he just looks so effortless out there.
He wants second place right now. Over the finish line jump. Mikel making his move on number 37. It's Mike Brown from Gray, Tennessee out in front. Mikel Pichon, though, is closing the gap in second place. As we take a look at the Honda stopwatch and get us an interval. Oh, my goodness gracious, Pichon cased it so hard.
I don't want to do this to you, but we're going to take another look at this impact by Pichon. Cover your children's eyes. Bam! Into the face of that jump. Look at the impact from his head.
It's a good reason to have a chest protector on.
Well, it's a good reason to have a full face helmet, too. Otherwise, he'd have taken a bite out of that crossbar. And right now, he's looking over at his mechanic like, oh, my wrists.
But this season, he's come back from 3 weeks off of a chest injury to take a second place, and now a victory for Mike Brown. But our real story is the third place finisher coming around, Mikel Pichon, who will take that #1 plate here tonight.
A painful performance, but one worthwhile. First season over here in the Supercross, and he picks up the championship. Nice ride for Pichon.
The start underway. Emig gets the whole shot. Henry, Lamson, Albertine, Ward, Craig, Larocco, all right there. Where's McGrath? McGrath is about 9th or 10th position.
Well, he was slick, though. As we look at our Honda jump cam, McGrath was almost dead last into the first corner. He snuck around the inside and came out pretty good.
Emig and Henry. Henry number 4. Bar to bar on the triple.
Henry a lot faster in the whoop section. Appears to be making up a lot of time. Takes the inside. Looks like he's got the lead. Oh!
Henry goes down.
This is kind of like what happened to Pichon earlier in the day. He must have come up short and cased that and bent his wrist. Now, he's had lots of problems with wrists over the years, and appears as though he's out for the race.
Well, Lamson doesn't want to bump his teammate, that's for sure. His record-breaking teammate. And Jeremy McGrath now has tied Bob Hanna with 27 career wins.